Good mornings to all. First of all, we are so happy to have our Honorable Minister Shri V. Muraleedharan to be our chief guest and guide us for the series of webinars and talks that we plan throughout the year. We in our country feel very fortunate that we have this opportunity in G20 presidency. India is a sterling example of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. World is one family. And that is why we have the logo One Earth, One Family, One Future. Now, in India, for thousands of years, when we speak about one family, we do not just speak about our immediate family, or joint family, or a big human family. We speak about the birds, the animals, the plants. It's ingrained in our psychology that everything that is here has to be maintained and has to be respected. And that is why in our Sanatan practices, we worship some plants, we worship some animals, we worship some birds, we sometimes even worship a snake. That is how we believe in one family. And for thousands of years, we have done it. And that is why when we were the richest country on the planet, accounting for nearly 1/3 of total GDP, for nearly 1,000 years, we were on a sustainable growth path. And despite that, despite all the world coveting us and starting on different voyages from different places to come and discover where India is, and despite many others coming and invading us, we were about 25% of the world GDP about 300 years ago. That is the value system that we have, and the focus and the base and the pivot of that value system was simple. World is one family. Now we have an opportunity. In G20 presidency, G20 has been there for a long time, since 1999. And this is the first time we have got the presidency, and that's why the Prime Minister has come out with a very special mantra, lifestyle for environment. And in this lifestyle for environment, where we are professing to the world, which they have discovered much recently, and we have been practicing for a very long time, a cleaner, greener, bluer future. We want the world to realize that India's unique experiment with growth, which is sustainable for thousands of years, unlike the rich status that UK had and pound sterling dominated for about 100 years, and America's US dollar has dominated for about 75 years, India's growth strategy has ruled the world for nearly 3,000 years. America today accounts for just 19% of world GDP. And in 100 years, the world has been brought to a brink of crisis because of exploitation of resources, no concern on sustainability. India, with 3,000 years of track record of not less than 25% of world GDP, never caused that damage to the environment. So we want the world to know India's rich, ancient, sustainable traditions and nudge consumers and markets to adopt environmentally conscious practices. So, in one family concept, we are also trying to bring in the least developed countries together. And in the very beginning, the Prime Minister made an initiative and brought the least developed countries to come and share their thoughts under the South-South initiative. We not only just talk. G20 presidency has come to us now. But if you look at the last 8 years of story, which Madam Aruna mentioned, we had things in place starting from 2014, when from the ramparts of the Red Fort, we spoke about Jan Dhan accounts. And digital revolution helped us, so much so that before the COVID really hit the world, we were ready, and during COVID, we were able to successfully use the DBT. The fiscal policy, the monetary policy, the financial sector policy, the external sector policies, that the present regime has used during COVID are sterling examples of how we treat one family. In this country, financial inclusion is now not only been spoken but practiced. I think we need to showcase to the world our achievements, our policies during the COVID time. And so we need guidance from you. How do we take it forward? And we tell the world that this is something they need to learn from. We are an emerging country, but we have such rich heritage and such rich culture and such high sterling economic performance that countries like us and people from India need to dominate. And I think the success of our G20 presidency should be measured if in about 2 to 3 years' time we are able to place an Indian as a managing director of the IMF and president of the World Bank, places where we need to be because we have done our things so responsibility with such accountability, unlike the Western world which occupies these positions are reckless in their policies. We look forward to your guidance, sir. Thank you.